The 1985 D United States 1 dime is a 10-cent coin that holds both historical and numismatic value as part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series, which began in 1946. This coin was struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the small D mint mark found just above the date on the obverse front of the coin. The obverse features a left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, designed by John R. the U.S. Mint's chief engraver at the time. Around Roosevelt's profile, you'll find the inscriptions Liberty to the left, In God We Trust below the chin, and the date 1985 to the right, with the mint mark nearby. Sinek's initials appear at the base of the portrait, a subtle tribute to his work. Roosevelt's image on the dime was chosen in 1946 to honor his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, as well as his role in founding the March of Dimes, a campaign to fight polio, a disease from which he personally suffered. The reverse side of the 1985 D dime displays a design that has remained largely unchanged since 1946, a torch flanked by an olive branch and an oak branch, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength. Above these symbols appears the legend, United States of America, while the denomination 1 dime is inscribed below. The national motto, E pluribus unum, out of many one, is placed across the center, tying together the three symbols. The design is simple yet elegant, representing America's post-war optimism and the enduring values of democracy and unity. The Denver Mint produced more than 520 million of these coins in 1985, making them relatively common in circulation today. They were struck in a copper-nickel clad composition, a blend of 75% copper and 25% nickel on the outside, bonded to a pure copper core, measuring 17.91 millimeters in diameter and weighing 2.27 grams. Unlike earlier U.S. dimes minted before 1965, which contained 90% silver, the 1985 D dime is of base metal composition, reflecting the U.S. Mint's transition to more economical materials following the Coinage Act of 1965. From a numismatic standpoint, the 1985 D dime is a modern circulation coin that is easy to find in everyday use, but its value increases with quality and condition. Circulated examples are generally worth their face value of 10 cents, but uncirculated or proof-like examples, especially those graded or higher by coin grading services such as OR and GC, can be worth a few dollars to over $20, depending on luster, strike quality, and the absence of contact marks. Collectors seek sharply struck coins with full details on Roosevelt's hair and the torch's flame. Occasionally, minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double dyes, or missing clad layers, can significantly boost the coin's rarity and value, sometimes fetching hundreds of dollars at auction. The Denver Mint's 1985 dimes are also studied for their die variations, including subtle differences in the positioning of the mint mark and the strength of the strike. Historically, the 1985 D dime represents the American economy during the mid-1980s, a time of technological growth, cultural change, and global influence. In 1985, Ronald Reagan was president, and the United States was emerging from a period of economic recession into a decade of prosperity. The dime, though small in denomination, remained an essential part of daily commerce, vending machines, and savings habits of Americans. It also symbolized the enduring legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt, whose image continued to appear on the coin nearly 4 decades after his death. The Roosevelt dime design has now been in use for nearly 80 years, making it one of the longest-running coin designs in U.S. history. The 1985 D issue, while common, holds sentimental and historical value as a product of its era, an everyday reminder of American resilience, leadership, and progress. In summary, the 1985 D Roosevelt dime is a small but significant piece of American numismatic heritage. Struck in large numbers by the Denver Mint, it features durable copper-nickel construction, classical symbolism on its reverse, and a presidential portrait that embodies American ideals. Though modest in face value, it continues to attract collectors for its design continuity, historical context, and the rare minting anomalies that occasionally arise. Whether found in change, saved in albums, or examined under magnification, each 1985 D dime reflects a link between modern America and the legacy of Franklin Roosevelt, a legacy of compassion, reform, and unity that endures on this humble coin next top. The 1987 United States dime is a small but fascinating piece of American numismatic history, carrying not only monetary value but also cultural and historical significance. Struck at the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark located to the left of the base of the torch on the reverse side, this coin is part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series, first issued in 1946. The Roosevelt dime was created to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who led the United States through the Great Depression and World War II, and was instrumental in establishing the March of Dimes Foundation to combat polio, a disease he himself suffered from. The 1987 D-dime continues this legacy, representing more than just a 10-cent piece. It symbolizes progress, resilience, and public service. The obverse front of the coin features a detailed profile portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, facing left, designed by the sculptor John R., whose initials appear at the base of Roosevelt's neck. Around the portrait are the inscriptions Liberty to the left, In God We Trust below the chin, and the year 1987 on the lower right, marking the year of minting. The edge of the coin is serrated, consisting of 118 fine grooves that help deter clipping and counterfeiting. The coin's composition reflects the clad coinage era introduced in 1965, containing an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving it a silvery appearance, but without any actual silver content, unlike pre-1965 dimes, which were composed of 90% silver. The diameter of the coin is 17.91 millimeters, its thickness 1.35 millimeters, and it weighs 2.27 grams, which was standardized under the Coinage Act of 1965 and remains consistent to this day. On the reverse side, the coin showcases the enduring design of a torch flanked by an olive branch on the left and an oak branch on the right, symbolizing liberty, peace, and strength respectively. The reverse inscriptions include United States of America around the top edge, E pluribus unum, out of many one, centered across the middle, and one dime at the bottom, denoting the denomination. In 1987, the Denver Mint produced over 754 million dimes, making the 1987 D-dime a common circulation issue, though examples in pristine mint state or higher condition are sought after by collectors. While the coin's face value is 10 cents, uncirculated examples, or those with full torch details, known as full bands, can fetch several dollars depending on condition and certification. The economic context of the late 1980s in which this dime circulated was one of recovery and growth following a period of inflation and recession earlier in the decade. The dime thus served as a daily reminder of economic stability and national optimism during the Reagan administration. Numismatically, the 1987 D-dime also represents a mature phase in U.S. minting technology, utilizing improved die techniques and press precision, ensuring sharp details and consistent quality. Collectors appreciate the Roosevelt dime series for its historical continuity and the way it links modern America to its deals. Although the 1987 D-dime is not rare, its story, from its origins at the Denver Mint to its symbolism of unity and perseverance, makes it a meaningful piece of American coinage heritage. Every worn surface and faded letter tells of its journey through decades of commerce, representing countless small transactions that together form the heartbeat of the American economy. Today, this dime stands as both a functional currency and a miniature monument to the values of liberty, trust, and progress that define the United States of America next top. The 1988 United States one-dime coin is a small yet historically rich piece of American currency, representing the enduring legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt and the post-World War II era of American coinage. Minted in Denver, Colorado, as indicated by the small d mint mark located to the left of the torch on the reverse side, this coin was part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series, which began in 1946 to honor the 32nd President of the United States. The 1988 D-dime is composed of a copper-nickel clad alloy, 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving it a silvery appearance, and a total weight of 2.27 grams with a diameter of 17.91 millimeters. Designed by John R. Sinnock, the dime features on its obverse front a left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, with the word Liberty inscribed along the left rim, the national motto, "In God We Trust," positioned below Roosevelt's chin, the year 1988 placed near the lower right edge, and Sinnock's initials, JS, appearing at the truncation of the neck. The reverse, back, of the coin displays a central torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left representing peace, and an oak branch on the right symbolizing strength and independence. Surrounding these symbols are the inscriptions United States of America at the top, the denomination 1 dime at the bottom, and the national motto, E pluribus unum, out of many one, inscribed horizontally across the field. The 1988 D-dime was struck in large numbers, over 962 million coins, at the Denver Mint, which means it is a common coin in circulation and not rare in most conditions. Circulated examples typically hold a face value of 10 cents, though uncirculated or mint state coins can hold modest collector value depending on grade. For instance, a mint state MS-65 example certified by professional grading services may be worth around $2 to $5, while an exceptionally well-preserved MS-67 coin with strong luster and minimal contact marks might fetch between $10 and $20. Coins with errors or die varieties, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or missing mint marks, can be considerably more valuable, depending on rarity and condition. The Denver Mint used advanced machinery in 1988 to ensure precision, yet minor planchet or strike variations sometimes occurred, which are sought after by specialized numismatists. From a historical and cultural perspective, the 1988 D. Roosevelt dime reflects a stable period in U.S. coinage history during the late 20th century. The design had already become an American classic, enduring without major changes since its 1946 debut. The year 1988 also fell within the presidency of Ronald Reagan, a time characterized by strong economic growth, rising patriotism, and technological modernization in the U.S. Mint's production methods. The Denver Mint was at full operation, producing billions of coins annually to meet nationwide demand. Unlike earlier silver dimes minted before 1965, which contained 90% silver, the 1988 D-dime belongs to the clad era, a practical shift introduced by the Coinage Act of 1965 to replace silver with a durable copper-nickel composition due to rising silver prices. This change made coins like the 1988 D durable, corrosion-resistant, and economical to produce. In the broader numismatic landscape, the Roosevelt dime holds symbolic importance as a tribute to Franklin D. Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, as well as his role in establishing the March of Dimes, a campaign to combat polio. The dime thus became an emblem of compassion, perseverance, and progress. By 1988, the design had been in circulation for more than 40 years, proving its enduring popularity and recognizability among Americans. Collectors often include the 1988 D-dime as part of full Roosevelt dime sets, covering every year and mint-mark combination since 1946. While it is not a rare or precious coin in monetary terms, it remains significant as part of the living history of U.S. coinage, connecting modern Americans to an era of resilience and innovation. In conclusion, the 1988 D United States dime, bearing the proud inscriptions Liberty, United States of America, and 1 dime, stands as both a functional coin of commerce and a small metallic monument to American values, artistry, and the memory of one of its most influential presidents. Next top. The 1990 D United States 1 dime, commonly referred to as the 1990 D Roosevelt dime, is a small but historically significant coin that represents both the enduring legacy of President Franklin D. Roosevelt and the technical precision of modern U.S. coinage. Struck by the Denver Mint, as indicated by the D mint mark located to the left of the torch on the reverse side, this coin is part of the Roosevelt dime series that began in 1946, 1 year after Roosevelt's death. Designed by John R. the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, the dime honors Roosevelt's leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, as well as his support for the March of Dimes, a campaign that raised funds to fight polio. The obverse front of the coin features a left-facing portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, with the inscriptions Liberty on the left side, In God We Trust near the lower left edge, and the date 1990 along the bottom right. Beneath Roosevelt's neckline is Sinek's initial, a subtle tribute to the artist. The reverse back of the coin carries a clean, symbolic design showing a torch in the center flanked by an olive branch on the left, representing peace, and an oak branch on the right, symbolizing strength and independence. Surrounding the design are the inscriptions United States of America, E Pluribus Unum, and 1 dime. The 1990 D-dime was struck in large numbers. Over 1.2 billion coins were minted at the Denver facility, making it a common circulation coin rather than a rare collectible in typical condition. Its composition is the modern clad structure introduced in 1965, an outer layer of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving it a silver-like appearance, but no precious metal content. The coin weighs 2.27 grams, has a diameter of 17.9 millimeters, and features a reeded edge with 118 tiny grooves, designed both for tactile distinction and anti-counterfeiting purposes. The Denver Mint, known for its D mark, was one of the 3 major U.S. mints active in 1990, alongside Philadelphia and San Francisco. The 1990 D-dime circulation lifespan reflected the resilience of U.S. coinage, durable, standardized, and widespread across all 50 states. Historically, the Roosevelt dime represents a post-war American ideal: efficiency, stability, and respect for leadership. By 1990, this design had already been in use for over 4 decades, surviving transitions in mint technology, composition, and production scale. Coins from this period were produced with high-speed presses and improved quality control, yet minor die varieties and minting errors, such as off-center strikes, double dies, or missing mint marks, can make specific examples valuable to collectors. A flawless 1990 D-dime in mint state 67 or higher, graded by agencies such as NGC, can fetch a premium, particularly if it exhibits full strike details, bright luster, and minimal contact marks. In contrast, circulated examples, those that have passed through everyday commerce, typically hold only their face value of 10 cents, though they remain popular for study and nostalgia. Culturally, the dime carries deep symbolism in the U.S. monetary system. As the smallest coin in regular circulation, it represents efficiency and thrift, values closely associated with Roosevelt's presidency during the Depression. The March of Dimes, originally named after the coin itself, transformed the dime into a symbol of collective action, where small contributions from millions of Americans funded monumental advances in medical research. Thus, every Roosevelt dime, including the 1990 D issue, is more than a piece of currency. It is a reminder of national unity, perseverance, and the enduring respect for a president who led the country through some of its most difficult years. From a numismatic perspective, the 1990 D-dime exemplifies the stability of modern minting traditions. It marks a time when the United States was entering a new decade, transitioning from the Cold War era into a period of technological and economic transformation. The coin's simplicity and unchanging design embody the U.S. Mint's commitment to heritage, while its mass production and widespread use demonstrate the scale of the American economy. Whether found in pocket change or preserved in a collector's album, the 1990 D. Roosevelt dime stands as a small but powerful artifact of American history, uniting artistry, politics, and economics in a single, enduring piece of metal that continues to circulate over 3 decades after its creation. Next top. The 1992 D United States dime, a 10-cent coin, is part of the long-running Roosevelt dime series, which began in 1946 to honor President Franklin D. Roosevelt, who had passed away the previous year. The 1992 D-dime was minted at the Denver Mint, represented by the D mint mark located to the right of Roosevelt's neck. Composed of a copper-nickel-clad alloy, the outer layers are 75% copper and 25% nickel, bonded to a pure copper core, giving the coin its characteristic silvery appearance while remaining affordable to produce. The coin has a diameter of 17.91 millimeters, a thickness of 1.35 millimeters, and weighs 2.27 grams, making it one of the smallest circulating coins in U.S. currency. The obverse front of the coin features a left-facing portrait of President Roosevelt designed by John R. the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint at the time. The inscriptions include Liberty, placed to the left of Roosevelt's profile, the national motto, In God We Trust, and the date, 1992, along with the D mint mark. Cynic's initials appear at the truncation of the neck. The reverse, back, features a design symbolizing freedom and strength, a torch in the center, representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left symbolizing peace, and an oak branch on the right symbolizing strength and independence. Around the edge are the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, Latin for out of many one, and one dime. In 1992, the U.S. Mint produced tens of millions of dimes across its facilities, with Denver's mintage totaling approximately 673 million coins, ensuring that the 1992 D dime remains a common circulation coin today. These coins were used widely in everyday commerce, representing a period of stable U.S. economic growth in the early 1990s. The coin's value in circulation is 10 cents, but uncirculated or proof examples, especially those with full torch details on the reverse, known as full bands or full torch dimes, can attract collectors and have a modest premium. In pristine, mint state grades such as the coin may be worth between $10 and $40, depending on luster, strike, and absence of contact marks. Proof versions minted in San Francisco, with S. mint mark, in 1992, especially the silver proof set versions, are also sought after by collectors due to their higher silver content and mirror-like finish. The 1992 D-dime carries historical importance beyond its face value. It represents the ongoing legacy of the Roosevelt design, which had by then been in circulation for nearly half a century without major changes. Roosevelt was chosen for the dime because of his connection to the March of Dimes, a campaign originally created to fight polio, the disease that had affected him personally. By 1992, the Roosevelt dime had become a familiar symbol of American currency and a tribute to both resilience and service. The Denver Mint's craftsmanship in 1992 maintained the high standards of U.S. coinage, with strong, well-struck examples showing fine details in Roosevelt's hair, the torch flame, and the leaves on the reverse. Even today, the 1992 D dime continues to circulate, a small yet enduring reminder of American history, artistry, and economy, an everyday link to the enduring spirit of the nation's coinage system. Next top. The 1999 P United States dime is a 10-cent coin that belongs to the long-running Roosevelt dime series, which has been in continuous production since 1946. Minted at the Philadelphia Mint, the P mint mark appears to the right of President Franklin D. Roosevelt's neck on the obverse, signifying its origin. Designed by John R. Cynic, the chief engraver of the U.S. Mint, this coin honors Roosevelt's legacy as the 32nd President of the United States, best remembered for his leadership during the Great Depression and World War II, as well as for founding the March of Dimes to combat polio, a disease he personally endured. The obverse of the 1999 dime features a left-facing portrait of Roosevelt, surrounded by the inscriptions Liberty, In God We Trust, the year 1999, and Cynic's initials JS. The reverse design, also by Cynic, features a torch symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left representing peace and an oak branch on the right symbolizing strength and independence. Around the edge are the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, meaning out of many one, and one dime. By 1999, U.S. dimes were made of a copper-nickel clad composition rather than the 90% silver used before 1965. The outer layers consist of 75% copper and 25% nickel bonded to a pure copper core, giving the coin a silvery appearance while being relatively lightweight and resistant to corrosion. Each dime weighs 2.27 grams, measures 17.91 millimeters in diameter, and has a reeded edge with 118 ridges, designed to prevent counterfeiting and discourage shaving of precious metal when silver coins were once in circulation. In 1999, the Philadelphia Mint produced hundreds of millions of these dimes for general circulation, specifically over 1.3 billion pieces, making them very common in everyday transactions. Despite their abundance, the 1999 p dime holds numismatic significance as part of the final years of 20th century coinage, marking the transition into the 21st century. High-grade examples with full bands on the torch, indicating a sharp, detailed strike, are of particular interest to collectors as they demonstrate the quality of the die and striking process. Economically, the 1999 dime represents a period of prosperity in the United States, as the late 1990s were marked by technological growth and relative stability. Coin production was high due to the robust economy and increased circulation demands. While circulated examples are worth only their face value of 10 cents, uncirculated or proof versions, especially those struck for collector sets, can have modest premiums, typically a few dollars depending on condition and certification. Proof dimes minted at the San Francisco Mint, bearing an S mint mark, feature mirror-like surfaces and are highly detailed, contrasting the satin or brilliant finish of circulation strikes. The 1999 p dime, though common, serves as a historical link between the post-war coinage era and the modern U.S. economy. It continues to circulate widely today, maintaining the same design that has endured for nearly 8 decades, a symbol of continuity, resilience, and national pride. Each coin is a small but enduring testament to Franklin D. Roosevelt's impact on American history and the enduring values of liberty, unity, and progress that the United States strives to uphold.